It's the middle of the grind, stuck deep in the week. James and Dan go live their spirits at its peak. Talking trails and airwaves, mountains in the air. Hopping streams and echoes, riding waves without a care. Explode. Radio out on the peaks, voices in the sky. Strap for a journey, signal to amplify. Pedals on the pavement, kayak rides ripple clear. Every path's a story, every sound we revere. Hump Day ramble, the hours alive. Adventure in their hearts, the signal thrives. POTA, SOTA, kayak, bike road. Through the static of life, their voices explode. Mic in hand, stories pour, breaking walls that bind. Adventures, the religion, waves, our holy shrine. Rove and wander, talk and share, find what keeps you strong. Hump Day's happy power, fueling where we all belong. Hump Day ramble, the hours alive. Adventure in their hearts, the signal thrives. POTA, SOTA, kayak, bike rove. Through the static of life, their voices explode.
What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day, time for the Hump Day Happy Hour, and that means time for a great show tonight. Before we get started, we're going to thank the Patreons because they're absolutely awesome. And, you know, I'll tell you what, I was looking at my schedule, and I'll tell you what, I must really like you guys because I'm spending a lot of time with you guys this summer. Also, shout out to the YouTube members. You guys are awesome as well. Green in the chat. I think you're even green in the chat that's showing up on the screen, and we're going to talk about that in a second as well. And a shout out to the ever-changing board who did not change at all. So I guess the board's going to have to lose its name. But shout out to you guys as well. Dan, what is going on?
You mentioned that, and I just noticed it's not green on the overlay. Where am I? Help, this hand?
No, that hand.
That one.
It's not green. It's not green on the overlay.
No, because right there, Kent Kilo 9 Alpha Echo Echo is a channel member.
Okay,
but it's green in our chat that we can see backstage. So this is a new experimental thing that StreamYard has up. So we're playing with it. We're going to see what happens.
And if you do not show up on that, we have no control of that.
That's right.
This is a beta thing from StreamYard, so we're just trying it out. But you do still show up on our backstream chat. The reason I say that is I noticed I only seen Andy Cowley say one thing, and it did not show up on that. And that may have been because we wasn't streaming yet, but some of the comments had already showed up. So I don't know.
Who knows? If we like it, we'll keep it on. Y'all let us know if you like it. So if you want to see the chat up here, which hand? If you want to see the chat up here on stream and you think it's a cool thing, let us know. We'll figure out a way to keep it. But let's run down the list, see who's here. Whiskey Echo Romeo 8 Romeo. That's Liz and fam up in Michigan.
All 7654321.
Tommy Two Tones in the house. How you doing there, buddy? Whiskey 1 Whiskey Charlie Brian. Again. What's Kilo Oscar 4 Golf Bravo Mo. What is happening, buddy? Kilo 8 November India Victor John. Hey. Andy Callie. Kenny KC5 MJ Echo. Good to see you, buddy. Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra X-Ray Hotel Bill. What is up? Reed AB8 AS. Good evening. Brent November 4 Bravo Delta Whiskey. Hello. K2 PTC Chris. Hey. Grampy Bubbles is in the house. Grampy Bubbles. That's a good one. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec is here. Whiskey Delta 4 Juliet. Mike is in the background. Martini. Good to see you. Maurice, what's going on, buddy? N7 NHS. Good evening from Montana. Maurice says. Larry Bingham, what's going on, buddy? Chris, Whiskey 0, Charlie Golf Charlie. 5'9", 73 from Tennessee. Good to see you, buddy. Dad's here. Kilo Delta 9 Uniform Victor Kilo. Yeah. That is awesome. Scott N2TKT, good evening. The My Toy Ostrich is in the house. Happy Hump Day, brother. Whiskey 4 Golf Alpha. Bob, hello. Mike 88KB. Tortoise Overland, what's going on, buddy? Good to have you back in here. The 0.0000001 watt wonder from West by God, Virginia is here. KN8PPY. Good to hear you. Kilo Oscar 4 November Lava Smoking POTAs in the house. Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Delta Juliet Dean. Hey, buddy. And Roger. That is Tango Mike Charlie 3 Bravo Kilo is in the house. Curtis, good to see you. And Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar Georgia Parks and Propagation
It's
here
him.
on the YouTubes. Go check him out. For everything Georgia POTA related. It's Wednesday. It's Hump Day Happy Hour. It is episode 196. We are creeping up on that elusive 200 episode. Thank you all for joining. James, what is up?
That is right. Creeping up on 200, and I love it. I like the episodes rolling through because I sure haven't put out any videos this week. I've been dealing with all kinds of crazy backlash of stuff from Dayton and stuff. We'll get them back on regular schedule next week for sure. But tonight's topic, we're going to talk about everybody's summer POTA plans. And when I say everybody, I mean it's you guys too. So if you want to pop in and you got something cool you're going to do for POTA, ham radio, or related, anything like that you're going to do this summer, and if it's pretty cool, we want to hear about it. And we'll talk about mine and Dan's as well. Dan, if you don't care, drop the link because I brought myself up on full screen here. That way I can read all this cool ghost chat. That's what I like about this ghost chat. I can actually read this stuff.
Eddie asked, why is the chat overlaying the chat? Because I heard you like chat for your chat. So here's some chat for your chat. We're trying something new from StreamYard.
Why is the chat overlaying the chat?
It shouldn't be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe this chat is overlaying where the YouTube chat is on YouTube.
I did not look at it on a mobile device, so I don't know. That's interesting. It should be to the side on a computer, on the TV. Okay, so you're on a TV. Let me open it up on my phone here.
Yeah, let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. Because if it's interfering, we can remove it really easy.
I mean,
one thing that's coming up for the summer. This weekend's a holiday, so a lot of people are going to have 3-day weekends this weekend. But
it looks good to me.
So that's interesting. But one thing special about this holiday is if you like coax, the best coax ever, ABR, is running a special from today until June the 2nd. 20% off. And I'm going to drop this link right there. You can click on that link right there and use the code HRAG and get 20% off between today and June the 2nd. So good stuff.
The only thing I can think, Eddie, it must be the way that the YouTube app on your TV shows the chat. I looked on my phone, both in portrait and landscape mode, and it looks good. I don't have a TV here I can stream on.
Well, I can look on the TV. Let me come out of full screen here.
Do you use an app on the TV or the browser?
Browser.
Yeah, that's probably why. He's probably using a YouTube app on his TV, I would think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Whiskey 1 Romeo Charlie Papa. Good to see you, buddy. Victor Echo 3 Lima Bravo India. The loudmouth 5-9 plus from Hammertown. Saw you sneak in here. Whiskey 8 Oscar X-Ray. Saw you sneak in here. Hey.
All right, I'm going to look at mine because I don't want to interfere with it if it is.
Whiskey 8 Oscar X-Ray said he's heading to Vermont next weekend. Going to activate a new state for him. That is awesome. Vermont is for lovers. Is that the right state?
Okay, so Eddie, on my YouTube, if I look at it, the stream is on the left and the chat's on the right. Maybe let's see if you're full screen. Let's see what that does. No, if I go full screen, it takes away the YouTube chat. So I don't know.
Robbie says, yeah, so I can't adjust the size of it either yet. So basically it is what it is right now. But that's the way StreamYard says they should try it. It's a beta thing that we're trying. Robbie said the font size is small.
Yeah, like it literally just came out today, to my knowledge. So
I imagine if you're looking at it on a phone, that is probably pretty hard to read. Yeah.
Well, you still have access to your regular chat. So you can still look at your regular chat. All right, but oh crap! Did you drop that link, Dan? In case anybody wanted to come on. Okay,
I did.
Good deal. All right, so what about you, Dan? What you got coming up this summer? POTA or radio? It doesn't got to be POTA. It could be a radio project. It could be anything.
My big thing is I want to complete my $100 Georgia. I have 2 parks left, I believe. And one of them I can get by myself with Juliet Mike. It's about an hour and a half away from me. So I'll go activate it at the same time because obviously it'll be a new park for me to activate. Go ahead and hunt it while I'm there. And the other one is up around the Murphy neck of the woods. So if nobody goes to activate it from that neck of the woods, I just might drive up there and maybe stay a weekend, have fun around the area again.
Well, I mean, I still need about $1,200 to pay for my radio. For $1,200, I can drive to Murphy, Dan.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right. I bet.
Hey,
Chris said he's going to be there Sunday or Monday. Awesome.
Thank you very much for the super chat, Steven. Steven's over on 7043. If you want to, he's probably, I don't know for sure, but he might even be doing POTA with a bug right now.
Maybe.
It just depends. I don't know if he just uses out of his house now or what.
Larry, I'm not sure if that is, I can tell you.
That sounds right.
It does.
And what's sad is I was supposed to activate that one while I was there.
Yes, that one.
And didn't.
I need the Georgia side of that one, and the other one is 9758, which is not too awful far away from me. So,
actually, I wasn't going to activate the Georgia side. I was going to activate the North Carolina side anyway, so it wouldn't have done you no good.
Yeah.
Brent says he just wants a weekend we don't have storms to screw
Weather,
up back.
weather has
Listen,
been nasty.
between the weather and the band conditions, this as far as the band conditions, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if this is the top of the silver cycle, I want to go back to the bottom.
You got that
Because,
right.
I know we've talked about it for months, but during those months, there's only been a few days that it's been all right. But
It's been terrible.
like today, I did 3 activations, both CW and sideband, and I don't think I had a single one of those activations where I produced more than 30 contacts on sideband. Terry only worked me once, maybe twice today. And one of the times was because Toby told me he was in there, and I just started playing with the filtering on the radio till I could heard a remote mumble of his voice. I mean, it's
That is
been
why. Yeah, that is why. If you're still in the PZN challenge, it's probably pretty important. If that guy over there does a late shift, you might want to get him.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to do late shifts every evening the way the band conditions are. It doesn't normally happen on Wednesday, but it did last Wednesday, so it made this Wednesday. That's kind of a weather thing right now because I looked at the weather and it does not look healthy later. So
we just had a line roll through here this afternoon that got squirrely for a while, but
I mean the band conditions is they've just been awful. I know Sidewalk Cherry, she came in, sat down, she scrolled around and she tried to hunt like, I don't know, 14 or 15 people. And every time she turned there, nothing. And then she found one guy and she called and called and called him. I bet you she called him 20 times. And then finally, this is the funny part. And finally, he called her back. He said, "Man, you got a beautiful 5.9+ signal."
that's funny.
I was like, "Oh God."
There's one person though. No matter how bad the bands are, the sun could explode, literally explode, and you'd hear nobody else except Whiskey Zero, Charlie Golf Charlie.
It's been rather rough, but I mean, I get out there and I get activated every day. Only 3 today. I was about to my wits end with 3.
Yeah,
and because it's the parks that I normally do, and now I did some closer ones for the second 2 today, because I'm driving a decent way because I'm still working on Eagles on some of the further parks away from me, and when you drive, even if you just drive 45 minutes, 30 contacts is not even a contact for every minute you drove, and that's just, it's frustrating.
When you don't get as many contacts and you have to drive, I mean, like you said, you start in your head to calculate the QSO rate per mile, and sometimes it's just not worth it.
Dude, I have driven to Ohio before, did my first activation, and turned around and came home, even though I had 5 more activations in that state planned.
Yeah, that's
But
great.
I've turned around and came home, and then went back out later that evening. Yeah, I mean, you just got to take into consideration sometimes.
And now, let me add on to this, Robbie. So Robbie says PP Man will go out with 1,000th of a watt, single sideband with half a paperclip antenna if the sun exploded. You're absolutely right. And then let me add to this. He would call me and say, why didn't you
hunt me?
Oh, Mike 88KB got an eagle at Panther. That is awesome.
Which Panther? The wildlife management area or the state forest? Because there's 2.
That's your new home park, according to your cousin.
Hey, listen, I work on what I work on, guys.
Management. You got it at management.
So, well, anyway, so that's your only big summer plan is just Georgia. You can work all summer on Georgia. Come on, it's just
Well,
2 parks,
you,
Dan. You need it better than that.
I don't have anything else planned, but I do have a project in the works. Some people know about it. They've seen the kind of behind the scenes of it. So that's another thing I'm going to be working on over the summer, but I don't want to say much about it yet. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Robbie said, "Yeah, his number's in PP Man's phone, so he won't bother me during activation. It don't work. He still bothers me. It's PP Man calls me for 2 things. One, to ask why I didn't hunt him, and he knows the answer. I didn't hear you. And 2, he just randomly decides he's going to call me exactly at the moment that I just have spotted."
No, Robbie, I don't need Blackbeard Island. I need one of them that is up around Murphy. That's also in North Carolina. It's a multi-state park. I think it's Southern Nantahala or something like that. But I also the other one's over on the other side of Waycross. I forget what it is. It's some WMA over there. I got all the odds.
Good evening, Toby. I see you're in the chat. Toby got through, I think, every activation today. So it was working. It was working out good into New Jersey. That's for sure. And I don't think she was below a 5.7. Here we go. Curtis got some plans.
Yeah, hit some
meetups. Go to Canada again.
Watkins Glen, awesome. You going to watch a race or?
No, that's where they're doing the POTA, the Michigan POTA meetup.
Very nice.
Which is technically the week before my POTA meetup in Michigan. So if you're in Michigan, that's one thing I was going to talk about anyway. That's probably the next big thing. So we'll go ahead and start there. For me, that is my next big thing is the Michigan. Hey, everybody's roving tonight. Hey, thank you very much for the super chat. Listen, I don't blame y'all for being out roving right now because the bands were horrible. Right now, they're probably on fire because I'm in here streaming.
No doubt.
So, am I going back to Canada?
Okay.
Maybe. So the plan is when I go to Maine, I'm going to cross back over into Canada. But that's pending the vehicle that I'm supposed to get. If I have to rent a car, yeah, I can still go into Canada. If somebody goes with me and they do not have a passport, then no, I won't be going to Canada.
Why? You leave them at the border, say I'll come back and get you.
Look, will you check this? Will you check? I take Terry and say, will you check his cavities? I'll be back in a couple hours.
You mind looking after him for a while? Here's his food and water.
Oh. But yeah, so my next thing would be the Michigan Patreon meetup, not the POTA meetup, but the Michigan Patreon meetup. I'm really looking forward to that. Murphy was a big success, and then we had it again this year, and it was a bigger success. So this year's the first year we're doing Michigan, and there's already some big interest for that, and it's gonna be cool. I know Steven and his dad's coming up, and so we got people coming from other states. It ain't just Michigan. And again, when I say Patreon meetup, that does not mean if you're not a Patreon, you can't come. You can still come. Somebody actually said that the other day.
Absolutely.
Summerfield Day is coming up. Club Rove. That's interesting. What is the Club Rove? How many? What's the dynamics in that, Larry? If you want, you can come on and talk about it, or if not, you can tell us in the chat.
I mean, I did kind of miss the obvious for mine, coming up summer, August, Huntsville, but
and the Missouri meetup. I don't know about the Missouri. 100 parks in a day. You're for the club. So everybody in the club's going to different parks, correct?
Yeah, they could be activating a park in different states at the same time. Yep. That's what I would assume. Yep.
And I guess you guys are going to have to stroke after your call sign for that as well too. That's interesting. That's pretty cool.
I would stroke that by what? No, I mean if you're gonna have multiple in the same state, that's gonna be weird too. You can't stroke it by state.
No.
Yeah, I could figure that one out. Figure out who's gonna use /1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ice cream fund.
Always a good ice cream fund. It's probably the Yazoo fund, Terry. But thank you very much. Terry's even donating when he only got in the log once or twice today. So he's a good man. And he's a good sport. Listen to this. I posted in Discord. I said the bands are worse than Terry's dating profile, and he puts a picture right after it, and I guess is his dating profile picture of him in some kind of raccoon costume or something.
Oh, that is great. Oh my God.
So yeah, that's.
Yeah, so Summerfield. So the common theme so far: Summerfield Day, Michigan meetup. You got Huntsville coming up in August, obviously.
Well, I've got after Michigan, I've got hopefully that main rove, and that's going to be 5 new to me states. Here we go: San Diego for work, hoping to hit 10 to 15 parks. Quick stop in Richmond, Virginia, up to Maryland. No, okay. That's fun.
I might get up with you when you go to San Diego, Chris. Shoot me a message. I'll send you some money to buy a bottle of tequila and go deliver it to my sister. She lives out there.
You're always sending stuff to people in weird ways.
I know, right?
It is hilarious. So last year in Dayton, you sent Bud Light. You were in Georgia and you sent Bud Light,
I did.
which Terry ended up drinking. This year in Dayton, you sent stocks of Nutty Buddies. I guess you were behind that.
Yeah.
Let's see. You've sent something else to somebody weirdly. Oh no, that wasn't you. That was that. There was something else.
I almost at one time sent you a box of wing nuts, and I went so far. So if y'all haven't been following us for a while, this is the whole wing nut net debacle back in the day. But I went so far as to figure out how much that package would have weighed and to calculate the shipping cost, and it wasn't worth it.
And it wasn't worth it.
Yeah,
you could have sent a COD, and I wouldn't have paid for it, and then it would have came back.
Yeah, that'd been great.
And you'd probably had to pay shipping both ways in, wouldn't you?
Probably. Yeah.
I wonder how that works when somebody sends something COD.
I don't know.
Is that even still a thing? Can you still do that? I think you can.
I'm not sure. Yeah, a flat rate box would have been smart, but that's not quite big enough.
Well, I don't know if you can send it COD or not. Somebody sent me something not too long ago, and they didn't put enough postage on it. So when I got it, I literally had to pay postage on it.
Right. As Robbie pointed out, yes, CODs. Go ahead.
But in July, I've got that main rove, and I'm going to also try in July to between July and Huntsville, I'm going to try to work out that bike rove as well. So I've got that bike rove. It's going to be a busy summer, and I need the bands to start cooperating a little bit.
If the spring is any foremention of how the summer is going to be here. It's going to be brutal because it's already in the upper 90s here. And I dread it. I dread it.
Brant says 40 meters on fire right now. Of course it is. I'm on the stream.
Yeah.
I've been trying to make contacts all day. Yeah. Of course it's on fire.
As soon as the sun goes down, I've noticed that 40 meters just opens right up. And it's good until about 9:30, 10 in the morning.
Yeah. Here was the thing. So today, because I seriously, I just wanted to make a ton of sideband contacts today. And normally I'll go out in the morning and I'll do like 2 or 3 CW activations. And the first CW activation of the morning is always on fire. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go straight to my twofer and I'm going to do sideband first thing. That way it's on fire, because normally I'll get back to it and I'll get like 20 contacts because it's like midday, worst part of the day. So I was like, I'll get a ton of contacts. And no. Even early this morning, it sucked this morning. That's the one time Terry did get in, thanks to Toby telling me that he was there, and I played with my filters. So I guess technically you got 2 contacts right there. I don't know if he even got in CW at all. He may have got in once. I don't know. He can answer that.
Just glancing on the band scope over here at 40 meters, and it looks good.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
You want me to tell you when it'll die?
Right when you go out.
The second I decide that it's time to go out.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. Oh, well.
That is what it is. We have fun doing it. You ain't having fun, you're doing it wrong.
That's right. But then after July wraps up, we go right into Huntsville. So I mean, it's a busy travel summer for me with ham radio.
I was just complaining about the heat here, because I think it's going to be a brutal summer, because it's already a brutal spring. But what's nice about Huntsville, guys, if you've never been there, when that helps. A fan does help me, but there comes a point it's kind of like an induction stove. You're just blowing furnace air on your face. But the cool thing about Huntsville is it can be hot as Hades at the convention center. But once you get up in those mountains and go to the park and start chilling out at the cabins, the temperature drops by what feels to be like a lot, 10 degrees. It's comfortable on the mountain. I love it.
No, you want to talk about hot as Hades, the QRP event in Dayton.
Probably humid too.
Yeah. Way too many people stuck in a ballroom for one event. Yeah, it's just absolutely, you literally can walk out in a hall and it's 25 degrees cooler.
Yeah.
It's that kind of crazy. So
what you're trying to say is all those QRP people were blowing a lot of hot air.
Yeah. Because their radios don't blow a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always a fun event, but it's just miserably hot. So Stephen and PP Man says I'll just go for the meatballs.
That's right.
Because they always got the little barbecue meatballs there for appetizers.
Or
I do always eat them.
Bill, I have never been to the Shelby Hamfest. But to answer your question directly, no, not this year. But that's one of the Hamfests that is on my list to go. I hear, correct me if I'm wrong, it used to be a lot bigger than what it is now, but I'd still like to go to it.
The last time I've been to the Shelby Hamfest was probably when I was a kid with my dad. So I would like to go. Shelby's one I'd like to go back to as an actual ham, and I'd like to go to Rars Fest as well. But it just seems like every time those come around, I've got so much going on.
There's a ton I'd like to go to. I just can't never find the means or the time. Like Quartz Fest. I want to go to Quartz Fest one year. I mean, it's just finding the means to do it and the time to do it. So I'll either do it after I retire or do it after I die. One.
And that's why Dan still has a job, because he gets to retire. He don't want to be a full-time YouTuber where he has to work the rest of his life.
No. No. Yeah, that's too much like work. You know,
it's harder than work, dude. You do it. You know, for somebody who's not a full-time YouTuber, you do a lot of YouTube stuff too. I'm shocked how you. Well, I take this back. I started to say I'm shocked how you have so much time, but I forget you're more of a POTA hunter than you are an actor.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the part that's really like the activations consume 90% of my time between driving to them and driving back from them and actually doing them. You know, and that's why I fall so far behind in everything else, because I'm always on the road activating.
You need to hire an editor. That's what you need.
It's like a lot of the other YouTubers. Man, you know, you've about tapped out on all the POTA people. You need to do other things and have. I'm like, when do you want me to have time? like, I mean, I'm doing satellites now, but just like today, I was so busy, I missed every pass that I wanted to work today.
Bring your Starlink with you. You can upload your raw video footage straight to the cloud from there, and then your editor can have your activation video out within a couple hours of you being at the park.
My editor's okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to teach my cuz to edit videos. That sounds like a good. You know, you could teach her to edit videos. And, you know, you could just send her yours and I can just send her mine, and we'll both have more time. You can go to Quartz Fest and I can
be like a little video mill. Yeah.
We're getting dots. That's great.
I'd like to know, speaking of going to Hamfest, I know over the summer, I don't know if they still have it. Jacksonville, Florida. Does anybody know if they still have a Hamfest there? That's where I was originally licensed back in 95. And I'm curious if they still have the Jacksonville Hamfest. That would be something that I would like to revisit, because I haven't been down there since probably 95 or 96, 97. I think I went back maybe once, maybe twice.
I was in Jacksonville in February.
Yeah.
I'm activated almost every park they have around there too.
That's a nice little stretch of parks up.
There is a good stretch of parks.
What's the beach highway? A1A. Yeah, it's a nice little stretch of parks going that way too.
Yeah. So Florida has a lot of parks.
Yeah.
400 and I don't know.
400 and a lot.
400 and a lot. And the problem is, a lot of them you got to have a boat too. So like, if you wanted to activate all of Florida, you're definitely looking at some expense, because either you own a boat and then you're paying with boat bucks all the time, or you're renting a boat, or you're lucky and your friend has a boat.
When
459, Larry said. I was thinking 444.
When JLN James came down and stayed with me for a while, he looked just south of where I am. I mean, very, very short drive. There's a line of parks, a line of them. And he's like, man, that's the easiest 30-part road I think I've ever seen in the States. I said, you could probably do that in like 4 hours. And I said, yeah, you got a boat? because the almost every one of those is on the river.
Ronnie, don't hold me to this. I should tell you to ask Liz, but I'm thinking it's the 14th
I got
of
you.
June.
I got you. It is June 14th at US 3331. And they're hoping to get there between 12 and 1. Hopefully start the activation a little around 1 p.m. So June 14th at US 3331 for the Michigan meetup.
That's right. And for those of you who like to hunt, the day before, you're looking at a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 operator 10 Park Rove the day before.
Y'all set the bar too high. If it's not 30, at least 30 ops, I'm not even going to bother to hunt you.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I mean, so what I'm basically saying is, Alpha Echo 4 X-ray Oscar, Mo, you guys that like to rove and stuff down there in Georgia, go ahead and that day get ready to rove. You hit us when we get to the park. Soon as you get us, you pack up and leave and go to the next park. When we get to the next park, you hit us again. You get 12 ops for the rove, she said.
That's the way to do it.
See, she knows more than I do. There we go.
And just hope that hope propagation between here and there is good.
So 12 ops, 10 parks, 120 contacts right off the bat. Good. Sounds like a good day. Okay, Josh is coming.
Nice.
He's been getting me park to park quite a bit lately. So that's my next big thing. Is Michigan for sure though.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting summer. I think we're going to.
Dude, every time I get back from so I got back from Murphy, and I felt like I had a week for Dayton. I think it was 2 weeks, but I felt like I had a week. And now here it is. I'm back from Dayton, and I know I just had a week, and I've got a couple of weeks still before I go there. But it seems like it's just right there, and I'm leaving again, and then I get back, and there's something after that. That's probably summer field day, ain't it?
I believe. Yep.
So there's summer field day. Then my mom's here for a week, and then I'm gone to Maine. And then I'm back. I got to do a bike rove and then go to Huntsville. Yeah.
Well, before Huntsville, on the way there, you got your Tennessee meetup.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I normally do that, but I have not got to talk to them about it this year. They've been pretty busy, so we'll have to see if that one's still a go.
Terry says we need to do a West Virginia meetup next year at the throne room.
Yeah, we're supposed to do a West Virginia POTA meetup this year, not a Patreon meetup, but a West Virginia POTA meetup, and that still needs to happen. Where I'm going to squeeze that in, I don't know, but it needs to happen. I know Kentucky has one coming up. It's further west Kentucky than I would want to go though. Oh, and of course I've still got the boat trip too in June. Ooh, you know what? That boat trip might be on field day. I just thought about that. I can't remember the exact date. I'm going to have to check on that again. That boat trip might be on field day. Brent says it is. So, and he said the Kentucky meetup's at Taylorsville Lake.
Is it being on field day? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, that would be a bad thing because I couldn't be at field day. So I totally forgot about that when I told him that weekend was good.
If you can't go to field day, who's going to wear the costume?
I don't know what you're talking about. Brent says it's good until 2 p.m. Yeah, that's a little bit of a drive. Well, I mean, I will. I can go to field day. It's just I'll be late. How about that?
Seesaw competition, yeah.
Oh, so this is the problem I run into. Too many things scheduled on the plate.
And not enough time.
And people's like, but you don't work.
Yeah. Your boss is horrible. I mean,
For the people who think I don't work, I challenge you. Come sit in this chair right now, and I'll put the schedule in front of you, and you make it happen. No, the West Virginia meetup is not at Cooper's Rock Feet. It's going to be somewhere in the center of the state, somewhere probably around the Sutton area, I would assume. So it's nowhere close to me or you. We both have to drive. Although I wouldn't care if it was at Cooper's Rock because I got some parks up there I need to get. Speaking of cool things this summer, and I cannot remember the date. I've got it wrote down somewhere. But Curtis is in the chat, and Curtis can tell me the exact date. There is going to be a radio booth set up at Geo Woodstock. So Geo Woodstock is like the big event. It's like the Dayton Hamvention for geocachers.
okay.
And happens once a year. And they've got a Curtis is going to be running a booth there, and they're going to be not activating a park, but they're going to be working. I think it's whiskey something 8 or whiskey 8 something. So it's this Saturday, he says. See there? See how I forget everything? But this Saturday, Curtis put whiskey 8 golf. That's it. And but if you're around West Virginia, that would be a good thing for you to go, say hi to the radio operators, but just to see what other outdoor enthusiasts like to do and stuff. I've been to Geo Woodstock before because I used to be a hardcore geocacher, and it's a pretty cool little event. So good thing to get. Good thing anybody who has kids or grandkids, they'll love it. Dr. Pepper Blackberry. It is good, William, if that's the question you're asking me. James needs a calendar. His calendar. Wait, you know what would happen? It would just get swiped by too. Like all my people wonder all the time why I don't get back to them. And I'm going to explain it to you. I'm not rude. It's just I'm at parks, and then I drive to another park, and then I'm at parks, and I drive to another park. And by the time I look at my phone, it says I have like 4,200 notifications. And I go swipe, 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 because I'm not looking at 4,200 notifications. And that's just how it happens. So
he's going to be doing an activation later there, and spread the word this Saturday.
And there we go. Pete said US 7003 and US 7004 are close to that park where that event is. That event's in Milan Park. So there's 2 POTA parks right there. You can go hang out with Curtis and them at the radio, and then you can go do some POTA. So good deal.
You can go to Curtis in person and get your Roger.
Only if Curtis could have got Ray's. I'm going to tell you, Dan. Ray's trailer is the new way to do POTA. I'm telling you.
You said it was cold.
It's like a meat cooler with a radio in it.
That's what I'm talking about. Heck yeah.
Because when I got there, I was looking for Curtis, and now it's early, and it's already smoldering hot. And they're like, he's in the trailer, and I walk in and I was like, oh my goodness.
Now I see why he's in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cuz doesn't like cold. She likes heat. Strange individual. If you, we got to do it. So let's figure this out. All right. So I like cold. I'd rather be cold than hot.
Okay.
A lot of people would rather be hot than cold. So, I mean, let's just ask everybody in the chat if you would rather be hot than cold. So if you prefer to be hot rather than being cold, put a 1 in the chat. If you want to be cold rather than hot, put a 2 in the chat. So if you like the hot more than the cold, put a 1. If you like the cold more than the hot, put a 2. We'll see where we are. You like both of them, yeah.
No, I think both of them, I'm half.
About half and half.
That means I want to be in the middle of them.
Yeah. It right now it looks like the cold's winning.
So here's the thing. Before I had brain cancer, it could not be cold enough for me.
Yeah.
Like my room during the summer, you could go in it and see your breath.
That's a little bit much.
No, I mean that's how I was. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to sleep with a heavy blanket on me because it was comfortable.
Yeah.
But that's how I kept my room. After brain cancer, I freeze pretty easy, but I don't like to be hot either. So, hence the taking off my shirt in Florida and giving Josh a 5'9" with my shirt off.
Yeah. Yeah. 60 to 70 degrees is a good range. And if you're across the pond listening to this, that isn't Fahrenheit. 1,000 Celsius, that's not a good range at all. But yeah. Yeah. 60 to 70 Fahrenheit is a great temperature.
I can deal with that. I can deal with that just fine. Well, I don't know. Let me refresh that. I can deal with that outside. In the house, I want it to be closer to that 70 mark.
That, Liz brings up a good point. You can always put more clothes on, but you can only take so much off without catching a charge.
Yeah, but who wants to sit in their house in a winter coat?
It doesn't really get well. Yeah, well, I mean, it's a different flavor of cold up there. You know what I mean?
No, it's not just as Sidewalk Sherry is. She could sweat in an ice bath.
Yeah.
like, and it's funny too because like she'll be like, it's only 63 degrees in here. 63 degrees in a house is a little cool.
Yeah.
It's 63 outside feels great, but if it's 63 in inside, that's a little cool.
It's funny that the way the body perceives that, because it can be 70 degrees outside, a beautiful day. Stay out there all day long. If you have it 70 degrees in your house, you're freezing.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I don't understand that at all. I really like, honestly, outside, I'm fine. I'm fine at 50. 50's fine. In the house, if it's below 68, I'm freaking out. Like, why is it so cold in here?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with the tonnage of the unit, John, because 70 is 70. It doesn't matter. I think it's more like it might be humidity based. Because as you run your AC, it lowers the humidity in your house. Outside might be more humid, so it might feel different to you. So
I don't know. I don't like to sit in my house with jackets on.
no.
So I don't buy that. You can take off clothes.
Yeah, but what I was saying, it's a different flavor of cold up there in Michigan and things like that. Like I think last winter we had some pretty cold days here. I mean, it snowed and iced,
Yeah.
but I think maybe once or twice I turned the heater on because the house just retains heat so well,
Yeah, I went to Florida when it's cold down there.
Yeah.
When they're walking around in their jackets and stuff, and my mom's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so cold," and
Well,
I'm walking around in shorts and a t-shirt, like, "Huh?"
Your mom would put on a parka if it's 70. I mean,
Oh
come
yeah,
on,
she freezes.
Yeah, the sunshine does help. If you got sunshine beating on your skin, the 70 feels a little bit warmer. Yeah. Yeah. Not very many cold days this winter here in Montana. You would think you'd get some coldness up there. Over there yonder, Montana.
There we go.
That's one thing being an amateur radio operator, and especially doing POTA, will teach you very fast is you can look at a 2-letter state abbreviation and immediately know where it is. So if you ever want a good job as a ham radio operator, see if you can get hired at the U.S. Postal Service because the state abbreviations right off. You know where the mail's going.
Speaking of mail, mail is like propagation. It's a funny bird.
It is.
I don't understand postage at all. Okay, first off, if I'm going to send this coin, hold on that screen. If I'm going to send this coin somewhere, if I send it to San Diego or I send it to Wyoming, it should cost me the same amount of money.
You think?
But it don't. Like, it goes by weight, but it also goes by where it's going to. And it's funny because I send these spikes out, and they're I'll take 20 orders, and they're all the same thing in the package, and they'll range between $5.58 and $6.70.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. But this is the one that really got me. So today I took 2 packages. Okay, 2 packages. One of them went to Puerto Rico, and one of them went to New Hampshire. New Hampshire cost me 40 cents more than Puerto Rico. Tell me how that's a thing.
I know, right?
Tell me how that's a thing.
That is hilarious. Let's see, Brent. Are there any state QSO parties this weekend to make the bands busy? No, there are none coming up this weekend. It's actually for sideband. It's going to be a quiet contest weekend. But if you're a CW nut, big one coming up this weekend. The CQ Worldwide WPX CW is this weekend.
So that means do all my CW the rest of the week and stay off there this weekend.
It's going to be fun trying to find a spot on CW because that's a huge.
Because whoever said there's no lids in CW needs their head examined, especially on contest weekend. Because I have been calling a CQ POTA many a times, and somebody just come in and just take over the station, sending like 40 words a minute.
That is true. Yeah, we don't have spring and a fall, as Martini said. It's just summer and winter. Yeah.
Well, I wish I didn't have a spring because that's called the rain. That's called rain. And it's May. It's May now. It's supposed to be the May flowers, not the June shower, or not the April showers or whatever.
We should make a new Q code. QLD. No, QRD. Yeah, QRD. Yeah.
All righty. We are at the top of the hour. Dan, what do you got coming up?
Hopefully everybody enjoys the rest of their week. Look for Curtis and what was it? Whiskey 8
Whiskey 8 Golf.
Whiskey 8 Golf this weekend. And looking forward to the summer, but not the heat. I'm going to drop the links in the chat now to Patreon and Discord, which James is going to talk about now.
That's right. And I'm also going to drop this one more time. There is your link for ABR Coax. Use the code HRAG and 20% off between now and June the 2nd. That's a great deal, guys. So get that stuff ordered. I'm going to head over to After Chat. I'm trying to think if I'm going to head over there before I do an activation or if I'm going to do an activation first.
POTA.
I'll probably head over there and work the room for a little bit, and then weather permitting. Terry said there's no rain in the forecast. I'll call him out on that when it's pouring on my head, but I may do a late shift because the bands have been pretty bad today. But if you want to come hang out with us in After Chat, it's a really fun time. If you're not a Patreon, you can head over to Patreon right now and get you a 7-day free trial. Just message myself or Dan so we can get you set up after you do that. Other than that, I like to get videos back on track next week and hope to catch you guys on the air. 73, everybody.
See you.